little friends, how are you all? We are getting ready for a little bit of Halloween curbside service. I have little kids that come and I want them to still have goodies and don't want to get them sick, so we'll use good sense. How's that? They're talking about believing in ghosts or not. That didn't make a believer out of me, but it had me stumped. Just when I thought I'd caught Blossom, her words would ooze away. Before we got to the Pine Street intersection, our house came into view. It's the third biggest house in town with a good deal of brickwork and carpentry to it. It was built back in the days when people put a lot of style into everything. There's 3/4 of an acre of a yard, which we got a bronze deer in, and 3 big flower beds bordered in shells. And there's a porch roof thrown out from one side that you can drive a team through and let off collars, dry shod in case of rain. You've seen some of those houses. There's a beautiful one in Kimberly. Of course, we have an automobile now, and in spite of what Blossom says, I thought it was the only thing we had in the barn. Our house is a regular show place, though my dad says he could have had a new, strictly modern house built with twice the conveniences at half the price. But buying the third biggest house in town was my mother's idea. Blossom glanced up at it and knew time was running out. I walked her up to our lane, though, and back past the barn, but I never let her notice when I glanced up at the barn to see if there might be something extra showing. With my imagination somewhat inflamed, I could picture a big rainbow-looking thing arching over the lightning rods. Blossom talks a good line. I'll give her that. It's an interesting idea, isn't it, to think about. This is Halloween Day, evening now, we're coming into evening, and I was thinking back all the years we've had Halloween in the snow. And then I thought again, my other favorite holiday is Easter, and when we've hunted Easter eggs in the snow and 40-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful day. I figured I'd walk her as far as the tracks, and then she could hoof it from there by herself. An open streetcar went past and made a stop down at the corner. My sister Lucille was climbing down out of the car, but luckily she didn't notice me seeing Blossom home. Lucille took the streetcar home from the high school because she wouldn't walk 8 blocks under any circumstances. Unless maybe it was on the arm of Tom Hackett. She was carrying her book satchel and a hat box from the Select Dry Goods Company, Lucille not being able to walk past a store without going in and buying something. These are children of privilege. Look, it's my granddaughter, Paige. She is here decorating and storming around. She's having looks like a good time. She's just beautiful. Those 7th grade girls are just beautiful. She was wearing one of those stiff hats that girls wear, the straw ones, like men's hats, only bigger in the brim. That's my sister Lucille, I remarked to Blossom for something to say. I know, Blossom replied. She's a dressy kind of gal. She goes out with Tom Hackett, I mentioned. Oh, I know it, Blossom replied. She'll marry him if she gets half a chance. How these colps came by all their information beat the devil out of me. She'd better make haste, though, Blossom went on, because these big, full-figured gals are beginning to go out of style, and Tom Hackett'll turn his attentions elsewhere. I looked at Lucille in the distance, bobbing over the tracks and sashaying up across the back lawn to the house. She was a pretty substantial figure at that. I'd never noticed. She's dressy, though, Blossom repeated. Paige, you and I are not dressy, are we? Not a bit, Paige says. My mother called the way she and Lucille dressed as elegant, I informed Blossom of that. No, she said, not elegant, dressy. And then she stepped over the car tracks in her busted shoes and her snaggled black stockings and her patched skirt, and I watched her all the way to her back porch, which had a wash tub hung by the door. Then I turned around and faced the barn. Does Blossom act like she knows everything? Well, she sure does. Do you know somebody that acts that way? What do you mean, me? Hey, take it back. Chapter 3. There were cobwebs all over the steps to what used to be the haymow. Beg your pardon. Really rich people like the Van Dieters and the Breckenridges and the Hatchetts make their servants live up in their lofts now that they don't need the fodder space. But we just closed ours off for storage since we don't have any live-in help. We have live-in help. It's me. I went from Blossom to the barn just to have a look around and see if our automobile was okay. Inside, everything looked regular, and I was thinking seriously about checking around upstairs, though I could see from the cobwebs that nobody had been up there in quite some time. Oh, hi. Bye.